Look, I love Clubber Lang. I love Mr. T. I love all that stuff. And I feel like when Mike Tomlin channels all of that, like as a player, you love that. And anytime you ever get on an airplane, right, and the captain comes on, if you got a captain that comes on and says, "Oh yeah, we're gonna," you start stammering or stuttering, like,
sure.
Do you feel safe? Do you feel
No.
all right? You got a captain that comes on. Listen, here's what's going on. Here's our flight plan. Here's how we're gonna get there. Here's what we're dealing with. Like, boom, they lay out the landscape for you right there. You feel good about it.
In control.
He takes control. That's Mike T. He doesn't care about the beast. No, you know why? Because he is the beast, all right? And he is running the narrative. And I have no problem whatsoever with Mike Tomlin not naming the starter right now. You know why? Because there is no competitive advantage for him to name it right now. Why would I tell you who our starting quarterback is, and now all of a sudden your defensive coordinator now has more time to study this guy? So you know what? A little element of surprise. I don't know. Maybe it's Kenny Pickett. Maybe it's Mitch. Now you got to study them both. If I come on and tell you it's Mitch, all right,
Sure.
we don't have to really watch as much Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, it's a good point. Strategic advantage for week one where they played the Bengals, who went to the Super Bowl last year. It makes a lot of sense why they wouldn't. I wonder if internally, if the players have been notified. And if they have, I think it says a lot about the organization, how they keep things in-house. A lot of the times with Roethlisberger and what was going on, there weren't a bunch of leaks about what his health status is going to be. Or, hey, what's going on with Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell? It seems like it's a circus over there. Well, no, Tomlin has it in order and the rest of the team has his back. I find it fascinating that they have the authority that he has where he can manage this, and we're not doing segments every day. Quarterback what the heck is going on in Pittsburgh? No, to your point, Sean, he's a pilot. He's got it under control, and we're not going to question his authority. What will be questioned is if Kenny Pickett's really good, and Mike Garafolo sat in this chair on Monday and said this, that 19 other teams in the NFL let the Steelers, with a clear and obvious need for quarterback, get Kenny Pickett at 20, and no one jumped ahead of them. No one took one before him. That he was the 20th player in the NFL draft, the first quarterback taken. If Pickett ends up being good, with all the rotating doors, that this team could possibly find a guy after Roethlisberger was the quarterback for nearly 20 years. Find a player that the rest of the league didn't try to prevent them from getting would be amazing. It would just be one of these great things. Like, how do you let the Steelers get another franchise quarterback, knowing this is the one year they needed one in the draft? Both quarterbacks have looked great, and I know I've got pushback when I say that Trubisky's looked great. I hear things from practice that he looks great. I don't look at the 3 preseason games as much as I do the practice. I think Trubisky is in a different stage of his life than what you remember from the Bears. And, oh, yeah, when he was with the Bears, still took them to 2 playoff trips with a roster that not necessarily was not exactly running through walls and winning Super Bowls anyway.
And listen, objectively, Trubisky's been really good.
Yeah.
Not average, not decent in the games and practice. It's been him. I don't know. I feel like the longer this goes on, that adds more intrigue, not just strategically for football, but like, if Trubisky is the obvious starter, who you brought in to be the starter, and he played well in the preseason, then name him the starter. They haven't. I don't think there's this crazy monkey wrench you're going to throw into your week 1 opponent. Is it Trubisky or Pickett? How do we prepare? It's intriguing. The longer this thing goes, and some guys just have it. They hit the ground running, and they have it. And this Pickett thing, like, it looks to me the part. And here's the thing about Mitch is, like, he has changed in all sorts of ways. 2 teams later, he's a father now, and I love Mitch.
Yeah.
I think we know Mitch, like, and maybe he'll be slightly better, his footwork is better, or whatever, but, like, I don't know, Pickett might be a baller. And there is a rich week 1 tradition that we go over all the times where you go out there and the coach just goes, oh my God, why didn't I start the young kid? We got a guy here. I don't know. I put it this way, I think it's about a 75 to 80% chance that Tomlin names Trubisky, which means that sweet little window that he says, screw it, I'm Mike Tomlin, you're not, I'm going to go with the rookie, and I'm actively hoping for it. I feel like if that's your future, let's go. Why are we putting him on the shelf? So much college football played. This is not some Trey Lance who's raw and inexperienced. 4 years of college football, you can't be better prepared. I always am the get busy living situation. Imagine if they don't play him and they start off 1-2 and then play him. I hate that too.
Yeah.
I hope it's Pickett. It probably won't be, but I hope it is.
Mike Tomlin, and we saw it with the clip with the Lions, like he's a cool character. How the way he goes about his business and carries himself and addresses the media and talks to players and coaches and peers, like essentially everything that guy does, he looks like he's doing it with intention because he's thought it through. And he might just be like, I am flying by the seat of my pants, but like no one can really tell because of how he operates. A little bit I feel that's how this quarterback situation has gone. They bring in Trubisky. They go and get Kenny Pickett because they needed a guy. But did they need him this year? Did they just stumble into this pleasant surprise of Kenny Pickett being so readily available and able to take over for this team in week 1 that all of a sudden he's like, wait a second. what if this whole time people thought I knew what I was doing, and now I can actually pick this guy, and it makes it look like I knew what I was doing the whole time, not just waiting a year or two, bring in Trubisky, buy Kenny Pickett time to take over as quarterback, and this whole time we're like, man, he had a plan, and Mike Tomlin's just laughing at us. Like, I never had a plan, but I made it look good the whole time. It's fascinating to me to think, like, is he waiting to name it, and he didn't even mean it to be a competitive advantage? He just happened to stumble into this. Like, it's so interesting.
Yeah, I mean, or it's just a lot closer than they expected, and we need a little more time to deliberate. You also got to get the pulse of the locker room. You know, I want to talk to some of my veteran players to find out what are they thinking, what are they feeling like.
Do they know? That's a really good question, Peter. Do the teammates know?
I know.
Take us back. Take us back to the draft. You mentioned how he fell and everything.
Yeah.
Why was he falling?
A
Why
lot
did
of
he get
talk that he
specific?
wouldn't go in the
Small
first
hands.
round.
Right, yeah.
Small hands, and then in the
Stupid.
game-
Joe Burrow had the small hands thing too.
This is it. Remember, there was Malik Willis was going to go third overall
So,
and
yeah.
stuff. No, Pickett was always going to be the number one guy. The question was when and where. And hey, Pickett was the only one taken in the first round. It was a weird quarterback draft, and everyone was kind of. But they saw him in his backyard every day, and Tomlin saw him practice on the practice field next to him, and was like, "No, that guy can ball. We'll take him."
And then he remind us of the quote too after the draft. Tomlin comes on and essentially says, like, "Yeah, we just picked." Essentially, maybe shocked that they were able to get him, the guy that he's been watching for 4 years, and he comes out and says, like, he could compete, he could start for us week one.
Didn't tamp that down at all. Remember, they signed Trubisky a month earlier, and then they drafted Pickett. And oddly enough, we've talked about this before. The Chicago Bears signed Mike Glennon for big money, drafted Trubisky of all people the next year. Glennon never saw the field. You know, and that's just what it is.
Yeah, it could be end up being like kind of what Russell Wilson did in Seattle, right? He was a third-round pick. Nobody expected him
that's a
to
third-round
play.
pick.
Right?
No, but in fact,
drafts, but
Glennon did see
all
the
of a sudden-
field, and then they had to pull him because they're like, this guy doesn't really
Was
have
it that?
it.
Did Glennon start week one?
He did, under
Yeah.
John Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they put Trubisky and like, get the hell in there. It was
Yeah.
exciting as hell. I don't know. We'll see.
A lot of this commentary I find interesting doesn't really revolve around the fact that, you know, we talk about Trey Lance and how that situation is impacting him from a psychological standpoint. I feel like that has not been addressed for Kenny Pickett. Like, what if he is traipsed out there and he starts week one and doesn't go well? Like, it's just why the situation feels so different. Is it because the 49ers are better than the Steelers?
Because Trey Lance
And-
has been sitting there for a year and a half, and they traded 2 first-round picks to get him.
Yeah.
Go play.
Yeah.
Right.
Go play, right? Like,
Yeah.
you give up 2 first-round picks, and you're the 3rd overall pick. Pickett was like, well, I guess 20.
Oh, he's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. It's a no lose for the Steelers.
How are you guys doing with next week with your Pittsburgh Steelers predictions in terms of who gets
Tough.
to the playoffs, who wins
Tough.
the division? The AFC North is tough. It's really tough. And I always have a hard time looking at that logo and saying, nah, they're going to miss the playoffs because they don't do it much. I see a path to a wild card for that.
Patriots
Let's put it
too.
that way.
Both the Steelers
Yeah.
and Patriots are like
Yes.
fixtures in the playoffs. I don't know if either team's going this year.
The only thing that racks up anxiety for me more, apparently, than that fantasy segment we just did 2 segments ago is when Kyle brings up the fact that we have to make predictions
coming.
next week. And it's the AFC. I mean, there's no wiggle room. There is no wiggle room, and the Steelers are a part of that conversation.
I did a dry run yesterday. I was sitting at home. I'm doing a dry run. of who
They
I
all
think-
can't make it, right?
I know. And in the NFC, I got to the wild cards, and like I had one that I liked, and I had 2 spots where like I don't like anybody.
You were like,
in
can
those
I take
spots."
some AFC
Yeah.
guys and
I
put them
want
over
to.
here?
I want to shift them over.
Yeah.
In the AFC, you're like, I have 15 teams I want to make in the playoffs for 7 spots. It's really hard,
Yep.
and you have to make tough choices. Like, I don't think the Steelers are making it. I don't think somebody outlandish like the Bengals is not making.
Yeah.
They just all can't get in. You're right. I'm getting nervous now.
Rattled.
Ha!